Now, let's go to the Western Cape, where a man implicated in the Phala Phala farm burglary appeared in the Cape Town Regional Court today. But that's on unrelated charges. Ayesha Ismail has been charged with being in possession of illegal guns. He's been in custody since 2020. eNCA reporter Ayesha Ismail is covering this story for us. She's joining us now live from our Cape Town studios this afternoon. Good afternoon, Ayesha. You've been following this case of this man who's been linked to the Phala Phala farm theft, robbery, but he's in court over illegal guns.
That is correct, Dan, and it is important to point out that Urbanus Shambwako has been in custody since December 2020, and he was arrested in Cape Town for allegedly being in possession of 12 illegal guns and also on a charge of reckless driving. It was only once Arthur Fraser made his statement in June this year that we saw in that statement that Urbanus Shambwako's name was linked to the Phala Phala robbery. So he's been appearing in court since 2020. His lawyers then applied to the state for further particulars, and they wanted to know why the Hawks visited their client this year in Pollsmoor prison and questioned him about the Phala Phala burglary, and they also wanted more particulars about his arrest. There was judgment in that application today where the magistrate ruled that the state, or rather there was an order that the state cannot give his lawyers any information pertaining to the Phala Phala burglary because the state says they simply do not have that information, but also the magistrate said that it's not relevant to this particular case because he's not being charged on any Phala Phala matters. However, the magistrate did grant them permission and made an order for the state to furnish Shambwako Urbanus's lawyers with particulars pertaining to his arrest in 2020. But this is what his lawyer, Rion Hekroth, had to say as to why they wanted the Phala Phala information.
The link was not provided by us. The Hawks themselves linked the Phala Phala robbery to our client by going to question him. Arthur Fraser linked our client to the robbery by mentioning him by name and surname. And the Hawks then links him further by asking me to discuss the Phala Phala matter with him. So, naturally, something about Phala Phala relates to my client.
Now, apparently, Ayesha, Mr. Shambwako has been moved from Pollsmoor prison.
That's what his lawyer said to me today, Dan. So, Urbanus Shambwako has been detained or held at Pollsmoor prison, but his lawyer says that on the weekend he was moved, and I was quite surprised, Dan, when I was in court today to see heavily armed police officers in court. They were members of the TRT unit, and they were inside court, and also after the court proceedings we saw them escorting Urbanus out. But this is what his lawyer said about that.
My client has been moved to a maximum security facility, and the tactical response team, they were escorting him, and he is now being escorted as a high profile and needs high protection when transported to and from court. He's being kept isolated as well, and that was a request that came down from the top.
So what's next in this case, Ayesha? When is this gentleman back in court on those charges of the alleged illegal guns?
Well, the matter has now been postponed to the 6th of March. That's a provisional date for the trial to start. But Rion Hekroth says that his client intends to plead not guilty.